Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be showcasing this amazing Force Farm Thunder Punch LUCARIO team which you guys can use in the Fossil Cup to get a lot of wins. So let's get into the matches and check out this team in action. Into the first match we have LUCARIO versus Wishcash. Bad lead, so I will switch out into my Jellicent and opponent comes in with his Featherthorn. So here in this matchup we can get to one Shadow Wall and it will do like 50% damage. Then let's see what happens. So here I won't shield this charge move because I want some farm on my Lucario, and opponent throws thunder which we survive, and opponent lets us throw this shadow ball which is huge for us as we can get shield advantage here. And now I will come in with my Lucario and I will no shield this charge move. I will completely trust my Pelipper to close out this game, to win this game for us. So opponent's final Pokemon is Poliwrath, so my decision was right, and now I will throw this Weather Ball on this Wishcash. And now after that, since opponent decided to call this charge move, I was waiting a Hurricane. I will just straight go for this Hurricane, and this will knock out this Wishcash. If goes unshielded, knocks out the Wishcash, and now opponent comes in with his Poliwrath. I'm gonna throw this Weather Wall, and it will do some nice chip damage. I thought it will do more damage, but it didn't. So I switched out into my Lucario to do some force farm damage, and now I come in with my Pelipper, farm down, wing attack down this Poliwrath for the win. GG's. Into the next match, we have Lucario versus Magnezone. Amazing lead for us. Opponent switches out into his Jellicent, and we don't have a hard answer to opponent's Jellicent, because if we switch out into our Jellicent, we will have same shields, and opponent's Jellicent will have more energy. So, and I don't want that Magnezone to be stuck on my Pelipper. So I'm gonna stay in this matchup hoping that opponent shields this charge move which he decided to do. I will shield this charge move as well, and after doing some fast moves I will try to catch the next surf on my Lucario, on my Jellicent, but game decided to lag, so I couldn't catch the charge move. But now Jellicent is in perfect farm down range. We got a Shadow Wall out of that matchup, and now I'm gonna go for this surf, hoping that opponent shields, thinking that it's going to be a Shadow Wall, and now we Shadow Wall this Magnezone. And after that, I'm think like opponent will throw a wild charge to one shot my Jellicent, and then we can come in with our Pelipper, expecting opponent to switch out because of the defense drop. And now opponent's final Pokemon is Poliwrath. So what I will do here is I will do like 4 or 5 fast moves, and then I will throw my Hurricane. And now I'm one fast move away from Weather Wall, and we get to the Weather Wall. We KO this Magnezone with this Weather Wall and win the game. Into the next match, we have Lucario versus Escavalier. Bad lead first, so I will switch out into my Jellicent, and opponent is staying in for some reason. So let's see what he decides to do. Opponent goes for the drill run. I won't shield this charge move, and now we have a lot of energy loaded, and opponent comes in with his Jellicent. So I'm gonna go for this Shadow Wall. Opponent decided to shield. I will go for another Shadow Wall, hoping that opponent no shields, which opponent decided to do. And now I will just farm down this opponent's Jellicent. Not farm down, I will shield this charge move, and I will throw surf on the CMP type because I was counting and I knew that opponent is gonna throw that surf. And now I will just go for this surf. No, not gonna try to get the Shadow Wall. And now I will switch out into my Pelipper because both Escavalier and Swampert are weak to my Pelipper. So there is no reason to stay in that Jellicent matchup and give unnecessary farm to the Swampert. So I will throw this Weather Ball. I need 2 Weather Balls to KO the Escavalier, and after that I just have to farm down the Swampert to win this game. GG's. Into the next match, we have Lucario versus Berserker. Really good lead for us. Opponent comes in with his Lantern, and we don't have any answer for that for this mon. So I have to stay in this matchup. I'm gonna shield the surf, and after that I will go for the Thunder Punch after doing one force palm. And opponent decides to no shield, so here I will go for another Thunder Punch to either force the shield or KO this Lantern. Opponent decided to shield, so I will shield this charge move here as well. And after that I will try to farm down, which I was able to farm down. And now I will do as much force palm damage as possible with this thunder punch damage to either force the shield or to KO the berserker. Opponent decided to shield, and now I will come in with Pelipper. Berserker has access to a Trailblaze and Foul Play, which do super effective damage on my Jellicent. That's why I decided to come with Pelipper, and now opponent comes in with his uh, Ludicolo. So here I will go for the Weather Ball damage, and then I will switch out into my Jellicent, and I will try to get to my Shadow Ball as fast as possible. Shadow Ball KOs the Ludicolo for the win. Into the next match, we have Lucario mirror matchup. So I will switch out into my Jellicent, and opponent comes in with his Polyrath. So it was a blind switch on my part because I didn't wanted to play that lead matchup, and opponent blind switched as well. Otherwise, I would have came in with my Pelipper here. So we go for the Shadow Ball. Opponent decided to no shield, and we farm down the Polyrath with one hex. And let's see what opponent decides to do. Opponent comes in with his Lucario. I'm gonna go for the serve damage. Not gonna throw that Shadow Ball because I don't want him to shield my Shadow Ball damage. That's why I'm playing it safe basically. Now I will go for another surf, and it's a CMP die our opponent is throwing before me. I'm gonna let it go, and now I will come in with my Lucario. I will shield this charge move. It can be a Shadow Ball. It was a Blaze Kick. Nice shield by me, and opponent's final Pokemon is Wish Cash. And now I'm just toying with him because I have a Pelipper in the back, which will just knock out this no, which wi- which walls Wishcash completely basically. Skull does resisted damage, and then Mud Bomb also does resisted damage, so that's why opponent decided to surrender. Into the next match again, we have Lucario versus Macargo. Bad lead for us, so I will switch out into my Jellicent. Opponent is staying in, so I will throw this serve to force the shield, and opponent decides to shield the charge move. It's going to be a Rock Tomb, so I won't shield this charge move. Even if it's a Stone Edge, it's not gonna force the shield because it will only do 50% damage. And now opponent comes in with his uh Kingdra. I'm gonna throw the Shadow Ball, get the shield, and now I will come in with my Lucario. Lucario resists Dragon Breath damage, and it will do neutral damage with his force farm. And we farm down the Kingdra. Then we go for the Thunder Punch against Macargo, and after this I will switch out into my Pelipper. Opponent decides to shield the charge move. We have shield advantage, which we have to lose now because Rock Tomb will do super effective damage on my Pelipper, and opponent's final Pokemon is going to be Polyrath. I will throw my Hurricane before Polyrath makes it to an Icy Wind, and now I will throw this Weather Ball to KO this Macargo for the win. JJ's. Into the next match, we have Lucario versus Featherthorn. So amazing lead for us. Let's see what opponent decides to do. Opponent comes in with his um, Mantine. I'm gonna go for this Thunder Punch. This will either force the shield or it will do a lot of damage. It did a lot of damage, and I switched out into my Jellicent, and now I will completely farm down this Mantine, and I will hope that a Mantine gets to a couple of these aerial aces, so my Jellicent is decently low. And now I will go for these Shadow Balls. This Shadow Ball will do like 50% damage, and if opponent does not throw his charge move, I can get to another Shadow Ball, which will either force the shield or almost knock out this Ferrothorn. Opponent decided to no shield and survives with 1 HP. I'm gonna no shield this charge move, and after that I will come in with my Lucario. Opponent's final Pokemon is Jellicent. So what I will do here is I will throw these Thunder Punches to do some damage or get the shield. And now I won't shield this charge move. I shouldn't shield. Okay, I'm gonna shield this charge move, and after that I will throw this Thunder Punch to get the final shield or do some nice chip damage so that my Pelipper can come in and like do wing attack damage. Opponent decided to shield, so I can just come in with my Pelipper. I can shield this charge move. It's going to be a Shadow Ball, and then I will throw this Hurricane. Opponent tried to catch but failed, and now I will throw this Hurricane to win the game. For Hurricane knocks out the Jellicent. Into the next match, we have Lucario versus Escavalier. Bad matchup, so I will switch out into my Jellicent. Opponent is staying in for some reason. I'm not gonna shield this charge move. It's going to be a drill, and it does like 35 to 40% damage. And now I will go for this Shadow Ball before the opponent switches out so that I can force the shield or knock out this Escavalier if possible. Opponent decided to shield, so I'm gonna shield this move as well. I thought that it's going to be a drill run which could like uh, KO my Jellicents. That's why. And opponent shields on the surf, and now I will go for this Shadow Ball. It will definitely knock out this Escavalier, and now opponent comes in with his Jellicent, and we could have made it to a Shadow Ball. That's why opponent decided to throw his energy. We shield it, and now we go for the Shadow Ball. It will do massive damage to Jellicent, and now we come in with our Pelipper. We try to farm down, but Jellicent gets to a Surf. It will not do a lot of damage, and opponent's final Pokemon is Swampert, so we will throw this Hurricane to one-shot the Swampert for the win. So we're gonna go for this Hurricane. One shots the Swampert for the win. Into the next match against Season 10 Legend player, we have Lucario versus Ferrothorn. A really good lead for us. Opponent comes in with his own Lucario. We catch the Thunder Punch on our Jellicent and saves our Lucario and his energy for the Ferrothorn, I guess. Opponent comes in with his Ferrothorn. I'm gonna go for this Shadow Ball. This will do nice 50% chip damage. Nice chip damage, and now I can get to another Shadow Ball if opponent didn't have thrown this charge move, but opponent decided to throw, which is really good on his part. We are gonna go for this Thunder Punch, forcing the shield, and opponent decides to shield, and we are gonna no shield this charge move, and now I will come in with my Pelipper. I might have to shield once, but I will completely farm down this Parathon for a lot of energy against the final Mon. So I shield the Power Whip, and opponent's final Pokemon is Poliwrath. I'm gonna go for this Weather Wall. Weather Wall. If goes unshielded, it is going to be a huge mistake on my part. And opponent decided to no shield. It's still fine. I'm gonna shield this charge move, and after that, I will go for. I will straight go for these Weather Walls. I don't have to throw Hurricane now. I will go for another Weather Wall. Opponent decided to shield, and now I will go for Hurricane. A game lagged for a bit, and I was not happy about it. I thought I lost the game because Poliwrath could have gotten to that Icy Wind, and Icy Wind might have knocked out my Pelipper. But luckily, we got the Hurricane, and now we win this game. GG's. Into the next match, we have Lucario versus Mantine. Neutral matchup. Wing Attack does neutral damage on our Lucario, and our Force Palm does resisted damage on the Mantine, but our Thunder Punch will do a lot of damage. Opponent caught the Thunder Punch uh, on his Escavalier, and now we will come in with our Jellicent. And here I won't throw any charge move. I will just go for the full farm down here, so that I can have a lot of energy to punish that Lucario. So I'm not gonna shield this charge move. It won't KO us. And now I will go for the Shadow Ball on the first, and then I will go do one hex, and you will see that okay, it was not a Lucario. I forgot it is a Mantine. On the second, I decided to go Surf because I thought I might not reach Shadow Ball, but I got it. But that was a mistake on my part not throwing the Surf. I thought I won't get it. So I settled for. I thought I won't get the Shadow Ball, so I settled for the Surf. So here we have Pelipper versus Lucario. Opponent shields up both of my Weather Wall, and now I will just let go of my Pelipper, and then I will come in with my Lucario. I will completely farm down this opponent's Lucario, and I have a charge move loaded to KO this Mantine for the win. GG's. Come on, yeah, GG's. Into the next match, we have Lucario versus Registeel. Amazing lead, so we will see opponent switching out into his Swampert. I come in with my Pelipper, and when I came in with my Pelipper, I thought I made a mistake because opponent might have another Mudboy in the back, which he saved up for my last mon. He thought that after bringing out Pelipper, his last Mudboy will be safe. So I'm gonna I have to shield this chance move because Hydro Cannon could knock out this Pelipper from that range, and after that, Registeel has a really good matchup against Jellicent. So I'm gonna go for these Weather Walls, doing as much chip damage as possible. I think I will bring this Registeel into red health. Let's see. Yeah, we can bring it to red health, and now opponent comes in with his Mantine, and I think my switch clock was not up, so that's why I had to throw that Weather Wall. And now I will come in with my Jellicent, and here I won't shield this charge move. It's going to be an aerial ace, ice beam, and water pulse are resisted, and I don't know if it has solar beam or not. So I'm gonna go for this shadow ball. This will do nice 50% damage, but opponent decided to shield, which is a really good shield on his part. I won't shield this charge move, hoping that my Lucario can sweep here. Uh, I'm gonna go for this Thunder Punch. If it goes unshielded, it will knock out this Mantine, and after that we can farm down the Registeel for the win. I was not. I don't know why opponent didn't shield that charge move. If he would have shielded my Thunder Punch, he would have like won the game. I think he was thinking that it is going to be a power punch, so I should have to call it, and that's why he lost. That's he called it and he lost. GG's. Into the next match we have Lucario versus Ludicolo. Nice lead for us, so I think we might see opponent switching out. I'm gonna go for this Thunder Punch. It will do nice neutral damage, and opponent decided to shield, so we will go for another Thunder Punch, forcing another shield. And now I will just let go of my Lucario. I will come in with my Pelipper, and here I should shield, but I decided not to shield, and now I all like everything is on Jellicent's shoulders. So let's see. I'm gonna throw this shadow ball. It will do. It did decent damage, and now I will shield this charge move because it can be a brave bird. And after that, I go for the serve, which he caught on his Polyrath. I was like, nice, you caught the serve, because I had to throw that surf anyways, because one shadow ball does not knock out Polyrath, as you can see. And we catch the charge move on our Pelipper, and then we can farm down this Polyrath, and we can throw the surf on the Skarmory to win the game. Into the final match, we have Lucario versus Skarmory. This is a neutral matchup since we resist Steel Wing damage, and we have Thunder Punches to force some shields or knock out the Skarmory to win the lead matchup. So I will shield this charge move. It can be a brave bird, and it will definitely one shot. And now I will go for another Thunder Punch, forcing another shield, and opponent decides to no shield. So we win the lead matchup, and opponent comes in with this Quagsire. So we switch out into our Jellicent, because we Quagsire, like both Jellicent and Pelipper has a good matchup against Quagsire, so I didn't had to stay in that matchup. So I come in with my Jellicent. We throw the Shadow Ball, do this 50% damage, and now we Ferrothorn wins the switch matchup against Jellicent, and we then farm down that Ferrothorn with our Lucario, and now we have our Pelipper for this Quagsire. We have to watch out for Stone Edge. It can like it will do a lot of damage if it goes unshielded, but we call the charge move. It was a mud bomb, and now we will shield the charge move. It is another mud bomb, but now we don't care because we get this. We can throw this Hurricane to win this game. G's, and I think it's a 3-2 set. So all of the sets which I did with this team were positive, or 2-3 sets. I didn't get a like 1-4 or 0-5. So this team is really good. Check it out. Try it out if you want, and let me know how it goes. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next one.